Hello and welcome back to the second episode of the Rust tutorial. And I am going to proceed with my investigation. The way I'm going to do that is I want to write a simple program that will basically print out an array of numbers. So I think what I'm going to do is try and figure out how to I'm going to try and figure out how to create an array, assign variables to that array, or assign things to that array, and then proceed to print the array with a loop, perhaps. So with that, I'm going to get started. I'm going to first make a directory. Let's see, what am I going to call it? I'll call it Rust Torah 2. And I guess I'll have a main.rs, I guess. That's what you're supposed to have. And let me just compile it here. See what happens. Main not found. Aborting due to previous error. Okay, that makes sense. So I guess what I'm going to do first is open the main.rs file. And I'm going to start by adding a main function. And I've been reading a little bit about Rust, and I think I can just do it like such. And I'm going to try compiling that now. Okay, and I got a main. Doesn't do a darn tootin' thing. Okay. So what I'm going to do is try the canonical program, which I've seen in the examples. I guess this is some sort of macro. Okay. Okay, I'm able to print out the string hello world, so that's good. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to define an array, and I'm going to call it I'm going to call it XS, and it's going to be of type int 64-bit integers, and I will create 10 of them. And then I am going to, let's see. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a loop, and I think I've learned now about how to create a loop. Or a range statement. I'm going to say well, let me just compile this and make sure that works. Oops, unused variable. Okay, that makes sense. So I'm going to say for n in the range of 1, of 0, let's get that straight, to xs.len. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in there. I'm going to compile that and see what happens. Oh dear. So I'm not able to do what I wanted to do. Let's take a look. What does it say? Oh, look at that. Used Rust C ---- explain. Fascinating. E0381. It is not allowed to use or capture an uninitialized variable. Oakley dokley. Error. Use of possibly uninitialized variable. Okay. Well, let's assign this to an array. So we are going to do that by saying that is equal to 0, 10. Let length, let size, which is a int32, equal 10. Then we're going to call this, and we're going to say size. Then we're going to say this is xs.len. And let's see what happens. No type for local variable 10. Boy, as you can see, I'm having all kinds of troubles here. Perhaps. Oh. I think I'm using these wrong. I think I have to use a slice instead of an array for this. This does not work. An array is a collection of objects. Arrays are created using brackets, and their size, which is known at compile time, is part of their type signature. So this is not known, really. I mean, I guess it could be known at compile time, but for some reason it's not. So I guess we will proceed. Let's keep this simple then. Let's just change this to 10. Let's see what happens here. Unused variable n. Okay, well, I think we actually got a compilation. There we go. So I can see now that I was able to print this hello world 10 times. I'm going to take these brackets out and see if that, these parens. I guess that also works. Okay. So I'm able now to create an array and print each, print hello world 10 times. I'm going to take that out. And I'm going to do a little bit more stuff. I'm going to try saying xs of n is equal to n. Let's see what happens there. I wonder if I'll be able to do that. Mismatched types. Fascinating. Expected I64, but found a U size. Okay. So n is a U size, but I'm going to change it to an I64. Let's see if I can do that. Can I do that? Negative. Okay, let me do a little bit more investigating here. Okay, I'm back, and I think I know that I can probably use this as keyword. Let's try that. Okay, I need to get rid of this nonsense. Cannot borrow a mutable local variable. XS is mutable. Okay, well that means that I think I need this to be mutable. I'll go like that. There we go. Okay, so now I've got my program. Oops. I've got my program with a variable, or an array, of 10 items, initialized to 0 to start with. I know how to add some comments. Okay. And Then what we're going to do is we're going to print. We're going to see what happens if we try and use the same n in another loop here. I see the value 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. Seems like you can do that. Okay. So now I have created I have created a 10-element array, and I have initialized it to zeros, and I have defined it to be mutable. The mutable keyword. I've also filled in the array with an incrementing pattern, which is useful. And I have, I've learned how to cast a variable. How to safely cast a variable. Then I was able to print the entire array, and subsequently, or after that, I printed my hello world. And with that, I think I have finished the second tutorial. So thank you for watching, and have a nice day.